I found myself reluctantly walking back into the hall to grab the monitor, pop the batteries back in, and return to the bed, tucking the monitor next to my head, volume at its previous ear-shattering level. If our perfect little girl needed me, I would be ready. During those first couple of months, this is how we viewed our Georgia. She was perfect in every way. So perfect that it seemed all our baby monitor craziness wasn't really needed. We rarely heard her cry through the monitor static. In fact, she rarely cried at all. At the time, we didn't realize that was not a good thing. But I'll get into that later. For now, you only need to know that we soon discovered our little girl was not safe from harm. But it wasn't crazy drivers or broken baby monitors that threatened to take our daughter from us. It was something much uglier. It was lissencephaly. Don't worry, we'd never heard of it either. That is until April 10th, 2012, a little over 4 months after Georgia was born. Soon I will delve into this terrible day, how it affected our family, and the details of what lissencephaly means. For now, though, you just need to know that it has to do with our daughter's brain and her inability to function normally. It also comes with many terrible side effects. One of the worst of these is the tendency towards seizures and spasms. Infantile spasms are awful to watch. Imagine an electric shock wave traveling through the body in short bursts. The baby will have this wave and then return to consciousness for a moment before having another. The waves may appear again and again in a terrible pattern, but for the most part, they are not life-threatening. Seizures, by comparison, are much worse. A seizure can occur at any age. They are violent and ugly. While having a seizure, a person or child will shake all over uncontrollably. Her eyes will roll into the back of their heads, and the whole ordeal can drag on for minutes or come in clusters. This means that the first seizure of the day will most likely not be the last. Months after we received Georgia's diagnosis, this is what we faced on a daily basis. If we were paranoid before all this went down, there is no word to describe what we were next. Our days in the months following April 10th were filled with constant worry. There wasn't a baby monitor loud enough to give us peace of mind once we discovered what exactly our daughter was up against. I always like to joke that my wife has job security. Without her, I have no idea what I'm doing. In times of crisis, my MO is to stand with wide, blank eyes and ask her, "What should we do?" I ask this question because Julia is brilliant. She's quick to answer and problem solve. She's smart with money. She plans every vacation and major life event. And basically, I can't live without her. I know it sounds very mushy and romantic, but it's also a practical reality. I need Julia Veach. Even before Georgia was born, I often asked Julia, "What should we do?" Because I'm a pastor, I'm constantly traveling to speak at different churches, and I always end up leaving something in the hotel room. Among many things accidentally abandoned at Hiltons across the globe are watches, sweaters, cologne, and 2 brand new suit jackets. If it's an inanimate object, I've left it. Usually what occurs is a sudden onset of memory when I finally get home. Yes, it seems that it's always upon arrival that I realize an item has been left behind. This is when I turn to Julia. This is where she shines. In 5 minutes, she's called the hotel lobby and arranged the shipping, and because of her superpowers, the lost item arrives on our doorstep the following morning. Because I'm utterly helpless when losing even something trivial like my cologne, I had no idea what to do when Georgia started having infantile spasms and soon after full-on seizures. I stood there like a deer in headlights as Julia talked to the doctors on the phone. What do we do now? The questions ran through my mind. This isn't supposed to happen. This can't be happening. How do we stop the seizures? How do we take away this disorder? How do we prevent all this? The reality was that the doctors had put a life sentence on my daughter. They told us that the children with this disorder have a life expectancy of about 10 years. Many die much earlier than that. It seemed that no matter what we tried, the clock was ticking. This meant that every time a seizure occurred, we were holding our breath as if plunging into the ocean. Could this be the moment? Is this the day you're going to take her from us, God? Our first-time parent guilt was now joined by new caretaker guilt. We found ourselves constantly haunted by the question of whether we were caring for Georgia in the right way, whether there was something we should be trying to do differently. And this haunting feeling only worsened when Georgia's seizures began at the end.